What's poppin', soul family, and welcome back to my channel. I am back like I never left and am very happy to be back. Thank you guys so much for being so patient with me while I took a step back, took a break from YouTube. For those of you who are curious as to where I have been, I did mention in my last video that I was going to be taking a break from YouTube to get my life together. I started a new job. I moved to a new state. I just went through a lot of changes in the past 6 months and I just couldn't juggle it all at once. But I'm very happy to be back and very excited to start reading for you guys again. So the topic of today's reading is going to be on whether or not you should break no contact, or whether or not no contact should be, I guess, broken between you and the person that you have in mind. Before we get started, if you guys are interested in booking a personal tarot reading, you guys know where to find me on my Etsy shop. The link to book that with me will be available down below. And if you are interested in the deck that we will be using for today's tarot reading, we will be using the Spoopy Tarot deck because it is spoopy season. That will be available for purchase on my Amazon storefront down in the description box below as well. Be sure to check that out if that is something you are interested in. And without further ado, let's go on ahead and jump into your pile choices now. Alrighty, you guys, so here are the 4 groups that you have to choose from today. We have group number 1 beginning on the left and group number 4 ending on the right. So go on ahead and take a moment to think of your person and choose the card or the pile of cards that you feel the most drawn to today. Pause the video if you need a little bit more time to choose, you guys, and whenever you are ready, I will meet you at your reading. The timestamps for each pile will be available down in the description box below for your convenience. Hello to all of my beautiful people who have chosen group number 1, and welcome to your reading, you guys. So we're gonna jump right into it, wasting no time today. Should you and your person break no contact? Okay, so we start off here with the Page of Wands. This is kind of what I am getting for the person that you are inquiring about. I am getting a very playful, childlike energy off of this person. Now, this isn't always a bad thing, but I was kind of picking up on the vibe that your person may not know when to take things seriously. They come across as a bit childish at times, and I get the vibe that for you guys, pile number 1, communication is something that is just very important to you. I mean, it's important in any relationship. It's like a major key point in any relationship, but when it comes to this one in particular, I feel like there was a lack of it with the Queen of Swords. I feel like there might have been times where you wanted to communicate with this person, or you wanted to talk to this person about certain things, and they may have brushed you off, or sort of treated the situation like it was a joke, or like something to laugh about. And that kind of sucked because deep down I do feel like there were romantic feelings here. And this person might show their love through playful mannerisms and stuff like that, or they might show their affection that way, but I feel like they may have disregarded the fact that maybe your love language is more so along the lines of words of affirmation and consistent communication, serious conversations from time to time. And I just don't really feel like that was something that you were really getting in this relationship. But I do see that the feelings that you guys shared with one another, I do feel as though it was mutual. However, in regards to whether or not you should break no contact with this person at this time, I'm kind of getting a no, because we have this 4 of Swords here, and this to me is just an indication that you guys have done quite a bit of work healing from this relationship, not only but just healing yourself, and I feel like group number 1, you guys might have had a lot of partners that might have treated you like you were a joke, or might have written things off as a joke, and I just don't really feel like this was not something that would have been sustainable in the long term, is what I'm getting at. And I feel like you've already done a lot of work and a lot of healing on yourself. You're growing, you're changing, and not to put this person down, but when it comes to where you're headed in life and where you're growing or going, and like the person that you're growing to, this person just, I just really feel like they just don't compare. You know, the two of you just, y'all don't mesh in that way, is sort of what I'm getting at. And it's not to say that they are a bad person, but I feel like they have a lot of growing to do, essentially. And I just feel like you can't be there to help them grow up. Like, it's just like the two of you are gonna end up going your separate ways, like, regardless. And I feel like I'm stuttering and stuff because I might be picking up on like their inability to communicate, right? We have the Empress card here. This is the person that you are growing into, this beautiful divine feminine energy, this goddess like energy where you are kind of manifesting and creating your dream life, and you're just really flourishing, you know, or that's where your focus is right now. And I just feel like this person is more focused on other things, you know. Not saying that you guys can't be friends. Like, I see that there could potentially be a friendship here in the future, but you guys are just not on the same page in terms of what it is that you want. And this is something that has caused a lot of conflict in your life with this 5 of Wands. I know that this deck is not very, like, the pictures don't necessarily, they're not very descriptive pictures, but I kind of have like tarot memorized, so I know what, like, I can piece them together, like, based off of what I'm seeing here. This is a card about conflict, and I feel like there was a lot of conflict in this relationship. And with the Queen of Swords, I see your energy here, you wanting to kind of talk about it and like talk it out, but this person just didn't have like the emotional intelligence, or I'm not calling them dumb, but like emotionally, like, I just feel like they weren't really mature when it came to, like, they don't know how to communicate maturely or communicate their feelings maturely, if that makes sense. They just are not really good with that, which is why they would be so playful and maybe kind of write things off as a joke, you know, like, you know, when everything wasn't a joke. Like, everything is not meant to be funny. It's not meant to be, you get what I'm saying? Like, if your person was like this, then you know that this message is for you. Like, they play too much is what I'm getting at. They play too much. They may even be a bit of a prankster too, and some of them pranks could really get your ass hurt, you know. Like, that's the type of vibe that I'm getting. Also, we have the Knight of Cups, and it clarified by the 6 of Cups here. And to me, I'm getting an air of nostalgia surrounding this relationship. You guys could have maybe grown up together, or went to high school together, or you could be a key component of one another's past. Like, when you think of one another, you both get this feeling of nostalgia when it comes to like reminiscing on the relationship. And I do see the romantic feelings there, but I just feel like the two of you, like, maturity wise, you're not on the same page, and that's okay. You know, there could even possibly be a bit of an age difference between the two of you, but there's definitely like a level of maturity, like a difference in maturity between the two of you that has kind of been, like, I don't want to say a deal breaker, but it has definitely created some barriers in this relationship, which could have easily been mitigated by like consistent communication, but that's just not something that this person was able to offer you, which is why, you know, you guys are in no contact now. And then not only that, we have, like, ending the reading, we have the Chariot card here. You know, so to summarize, like, whether or not you should break no contact, or no contact should be broken between the two of you, the answer is no. More so for you, the viewer, more so for your sake. We have with the 4 of Swords here, and the Chariot, and the Empress, I really see you going somewhere. It's okay to look at and honor and, you know, reminisce and appreciate the good memories that you have, but as of right now, I just don't see a reason to break no contact. I can understand why you might be tempted from time to time with this, like, nostalgia and wanting to feel that way again and wanting to relive that. But Spirit is saying there's something better lined up for you. You are growing and you are healing. And if anything, you know, letting this person back into your life to get close again, I feel like it might hinder it. It certainly won't help, you know. So yeah, that's my overall message for you, group number 1. No, you should not break no contact with the person that you are inquiring about. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are interested in booking a personal tarot reading with me, you can book with me down on my Etsy shop. The link will be available down in the description box below. And if you're interested in the deck that we used for today, we did use the Spoopy Tarot deck, which will be available for purchase on my Amazon storefront down in the description box below as well. Be sure to check that out if that is something you are interested in. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye! Hello to all of my beautiful people who have chosen group number 2, and welcome to your reading, you guys. So, should you break no contact with this person, or should the no contact arrangement be broken between the two of you? For this pile, I'm gonna need to hold on to my good old rhodonite while channeling for this pile, because I feel called to. Shout out to my boy Marcus who bought this for me. Don't know where he got it, but it's a really good crystal, and I think maybe you should look into it, pile number 2, because it might benefit you. So this one is hard, okay? I'm not even gonna lie, because we start off with the 2 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. Immediately, I'm feeling it, okay? Immediately, I'm feeling it, okay? This is a very deep soul connection that you share with this person, okay? And I definitely feel like there was some heartbreak here. And it might have even been on both sides. You know, I wasn't really getting the vibe that like anybody, like, I don't think there was any cheating or like lack of faithfulness here. But I think that the two of you really, really, really mirrored each other, and it might have gotten to the point where it was super unbearable, because it kind of gives like twin flame separation, or like, you know, just having to separate from like your divine counterpart, because this shit just gets overwhelming, and you have to heal, and you have to grow, and you have to work on yourself on your own. Like, you got to learn kind of how to get it on your own, and you got to learn how to do life without them, so that when you guys do get back together, it's not like, or get back with one another, it's not like a codependent situation, because you are one whole person and they are one whole person. Like, a common misconception with twin flames is like they have to be together, or like divine counterparts as well, soulmates as well. They share a soul and they have to be together because of that type of bond that they share. But the reality of the situation is, even if 2 people are twin flames, one person is a whole ass person and the other person is a whole ass person. And regardless of whether or not, you know, they're together or not, despite their bond, they will always be whole ass people. Okay, so I'm just feeling like there was a lot of mirroring here, and like the 2 of you kind of had to go your separate ways to become whole again on your own, and learn how to be whole without one another, because otherwise it's like you're gonna mirror back and forth all of the shit that's hindering you from being whole. You're gonna mirror that back and forth, and that shit can get nasty. Like, I feel like it already did get pretty nasty between the 2 of you. But despite all of that, I do feel like this person, they love you very, very much, and the feeling is mutual here. Like, I can see that with the King of Cups here. There is a lot of love. This is a very loving individual. They might have a bit of a temper on them, I am picking up on that, but they also have a lot of love to give, and I feel like you're the exact same way. I feel like you two have already invested a lot in this relationship, and I want to say you've invested a lot of energy into like getting to know one another, but this is one of those connections where it was just like instant. Like you just kind of knew each other right away. Like the chemistry was there, like your dynamic, your connection, it just made sense. Like it added up, you know. Is so it's like it only made sense for you guys to like be with one another. But after a while it got overwhelming, because having somebody mirror shit to you about yourself that maybe you don't want to see, or you don't want to heal, you don't want to work through it, you know, you don't want to see those darker aspects of yourself, and they don't want to see those darker aspects of themselves either, that it got overwhelming. Like I'm seeing that it got overwhelming. It got to be too much, and that's why you guys are in separation. That's why you guys are in no contact, because y'all force each other to look at yourselves, right? We also have the Judgment card here. So I feel like it's important for you in this situation to view this relationship, to view this connection in totality from a higher perspective, not just from the, how do I say, like the he said, she said perspective, not just from the you feel, I feel perspective, but look at it from a higher perspective, because you have that ability. This is like one of those connections that you really got to sit on. You really got to meditate on this to figure out what it is to, like, what it is that you need to do, because I really do feel like this is a divine connection. Like this connection does have a greater purpose. So it's like when it comes down to whether or not no contact should be broken between the two of you, like my answer is yes, but this is something that must be done in divine timing. This is not something that can be done by force. This is just not that type of connection. And that shit will trigger your control issues, your ego, like your desire to be in control in the situation. It will trigger that. It will really make you feel some type of way. Like, but yeah, I think that yes, overall the answer is yes. No contact should be broken, but in divine timing. Because I get this vibe that the two of you really, on a deeper level, are inseparable. Like, there is really no separation between the two of you. And it's possible that there could be third-party interferences, but I'm not really picking up on that, like, as, like, another person being in the picture. I'm not really getting that type of vibe in this situation. We do have the Three of Cups, and it does kind of stand out to me. The third party interference could be work, bills, financial issues, bad relationships, family dynamics, like whatever it is that may have kind of stepped in and really interfered with the relationship. I'm not really getting like another person, like, or like that type of third party situation, like a karmic. It could be that, like, I'm not gonna write that off completely, but I'm more so getting like real life shit. Could be, you know, in the way that needs to be like cleared out and moved out the way so that the two of you could really focus on each other. And that's not something that needs to be rushed. But when you have this type of connection with somebody, it's like no matter what, the two of you will always be led back to one another, whether it's this life or the next life. And even in this life, I feel like it's just, even if it's a couple months later, a couple years later, a couple years down the line, it's like, as long as when you come back together, you know, even if it's for not that long, you see like growth, you see change, like you see that both you and your person have been working to, like, there's no stagnation. That's how you know, like, that's how you know that the separation is necessary, because certain changes and certain like milestones of growth you just cannot get to when your shit is being mirrored back to you constantly, like your unhealed stuff. Now, it's one thing if it's being mirrored to you and you've done the work and you know what I'm saying, like on your own, and you can kind of like handle it and acknowledge it and not be so triggered by it. But when you have your person like in your face, just mirroring back to you all of your insecurities, like all that stuff about yourself that you don't want to look at, like the childhood traumas, the childhood wounds, like, you know, just all those darker shadow aspects of yourself. And that shit is like really hitting, and it's like it's triggering you, and it's making you want to fight them. Like, not for real, but like, you know what I mean. You know, sometimes it can get to that point, but you know what I mean. It's like you can't really heal. Like, their job is to mirror to you, to show you what it is that needs to be healed, and then the process of the whole separation process is so that you can take a step back and work through that shit on your own, so that when you guys do come back together and the no contact is broken, you know, y'all can actually get somewhere. Like, y'all can focus on each other, you know, y'all can get to the next level together. Like, that's what I'm getting at. So, like, overall, to summarize, and the last card that we have here before I forget, we have the Ace of Wands, which does kind of point to like passion between one another, but also to me it points to like taking action towards a new beginning. So when it comes to whether or not no contact should be broken in this connection, the answer is yes, but in divine timing. It's not like you're breaking it by reaching out or like trying to take matters into your own hands, and the same goes for them. It's not so much them taking matters into their own hands. It's like the universe will bring the both of you back together and break no contact for both of you when the time is right, is what I'm getting. So it's going to be different for everybody, but like that's the overall message that I get for you guys who chose pile number 2. So that is what I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are interested in booking a personal tarot reading with me, you guys can book with me on my Etsy shop. The link to do so will be available down in the description box below. And if you are interested in the deck that we used for today's tarot reading, we did use the Spoopy tarot deck, which will be available for purchase on my Amazon storefront down in the description box below. Be sure to check that out if that is something you are interested in. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye! Hello to all of my beautiful people who have chosen group number 3, and welcome to your reading, you guys. So, should you break no contact with your person, or should no contact be broken between the two of you? So, we start off the reading with the King of Wands reverse and the Two of Swords. Okay, so the answer for you guys, group number 3, is very simple. Hell nah. You should not break no contact between the two of you. Spirit is literally like, is this even a fucking question? I mean, let's please be so for real. This person is not a good person. They are not coming across as a good person at all. And normally when I read cards, I really try not to slander the other person. I try to remain as objective as possible, but this is an asshole. Like, this person is actually an asshole. I would not be surprised if this person with the Seven of Swords here, if they cheated on you, if they were dishonest with you, if they would manipulate you, if they were frequently like trying to gaslight you. Just not a good person, like, at all. We have this Knight of Swords here, and this Knight of Wands. Yeah, this person, they come across as like this like, how do I say, like, I want to say like this high school bad boy is sort of what I'm getting. Like, maybe even like a bit of a bully. Like, this person kind of gives me that type of vibe. We have the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, and this energy can be, it can come across in this context, it kind of comes across a bit like playerish, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just getting that vibe, okay? And overall, what I'm picking up on with this person is that they will do anything but help you get to where you want to go. Like, this person can hold you back in a million different ways, and honestly, based off of what I'm seeing here, this person brings absolutely nothing to the table, at all. You know, they might even be the type of person that they bring something to the table, but they just make sure it ain't for you. Like real rude and disrespectful. It low key, I'm getting like narcissist vibes from them. It's like they bring food for everybody except for you. Like they go out of their way to maybe even compliment others or like look out for others or like do for others, but they make sure to make it a point to make you feel like, or to remind you that you are not a priority in their lives. This is disgusting behavior. And the crazy thing about it is, you guys, group number 3, you guys can get it on your own. This person has been breadcrumbing you from day one. And the thing is, it might have been really good at first, but no, like this energy is so nasty. Like it honestly stank. I really, you need Lysol on this energy. Like, I don't know what the Febreze, like this person's aura stank. Like, I don't know what else to say. And I don't know what it was about them that really drew you guys in. I think really what it could have been is like if you have abandonment wounds, or you frequently had or like dealt with abandonment throughout your childhood, or it could even be especially if you grew up with a narcissistic parent. I could see how even if you might have gotten yourself out of this situation, how you might have gravitated towards this person, because they put you in a situation to where you really had to heal that. You really had to feel that. You guys might have wounds surrounding not being heard, or not feeling heard, or not being acknowledged. And the thing about the situation is, like, when you call this person out on their BS, they know what you're talking about. They know, but they are not going to take accountability. They would rather scoop their eyeballs out with a spoon than take accountability for the bullshit that they have put you through. And if you have a narcissistic parent, they are the exact same way. That is primarily like what I am channeling with this person. It's disgusting behavior, and it's just not something that you deserve to put yourself through. Group number 3. You knew that was going to be the answer when you first came to this reading. Like, let's be so for real. And if that does not hit, or that does not resonate, and this person has not been completely awful and like cruel to you, or like maybe they have been, but maybe you didn't really realize it, or maybe you kind of brushed it off, maybe you ignored the red flags, you know. But like, if this person really is not that bad of a person, like if you're watching this reading and you're like, but what the fuck did they do to me? Like, why are they like that? Then this might not be for you. This is for my people who distinctively know that this person was not shit. Okay? This is for you guys. All right? If you feel like, you know, they are a nice person, you know, maybe it just didn't work out, then this may not be for you. If you chose this pile, and you know this message is hitting because this person was an asshole to you, like they were terrible. And the overall message is like, why would you want them back in your life? With this 9 of Pentacles here, you have so much going for yourself. I know this looked like a bug with his head detached, but really the symbolization of this card, the 9 of Pentacles, this is independence, financial independence. You don't need nobody bringing nothing to the table for you, because you got it like that. Like, you know how to take care of yourself. Even when you don't have it like that, you're very resourceful. You have everything that you need. Especially like material wise. And it may not always feel that way because the economy is trash and we all just be struggling to pay bills and shit, and everything is so expensive. But hear me out. You got it like that. This person really, they might be really good at flexing what they don't have, okay? And when they run out of their resources or whatever it is that they need, they'll be quick to reach back out to you and try to break no contact, okay? Watch out for this motherfucker during Mercury retrograde, because they will come back around and be all up in your energy and be all up in your space, and don't nobody have time for that. Like, this energy is so stank, okay? It's so stank. And then we have the 10 of Cups. You are literally independently working towards the life of your dreams. You deserve love. You deserve to be cherished. You deserve to be in a relationship with somebody who brings that emotional security and emotional stability into your life. We have this Emperor. You deserve to be with somebody who, I don't want to say that you shouldn't communicate your needs, but they are not afraid to take matters into their own hands when it comes to taking care of you and meeting your needs. You know, that's going to be something like when your person, like your person really comes into your life and like steps up to the plate and like really shows you, you're gonna be like, damn, like I didn't know that they made men like this, or like I didn't know that they made women like this that'll really like show up and show out for me like this. Like I didn't know that this was something that I could experience, because I've been dealing with a bunch of BS, like, you know, my entire dating life or just throughout my life in general. This, even with your personal relationships, like you gotta start setting standards for how you allow motherfuckers to treat you. Okay? Because what I will say is this, and this is one thing that stuck out to me in this reading. Okay? We have this King of Wands reversed starting the reading, and then we have this Emperor upright finishing it. Okay? These are two very, very different energies. Okay? And like crazy thing is, they're the complete opposite of one another. Here you have somebody who has a temper, you know, no problem gaslighting the fuck out of you, maybe even putting their hands on you, like as a means to control you. This is somebody who has control issues, like very manipulative. This is a very nasty stank energy. Like this is, you got to get the Lysol for this person's aura. Okay? Then we have the Emperor card. This is somebody who naturally is in their masculine energy, naturally operating in the most top tier masculine energy that you can think of. Like this is just somebody that you would naturally find yourself submitting to because of the fact that they are just in that energy. They just got it like that. This is husband material, you know? Or like, I guess you could say wife material too, like depending on what you like. But like they just in that masculine energy, like it comes so natural to them, they don't even have to try. They're doing all of the things. You don't have to beg for the bare minimum with somebody like this. This is what the type of energy that the universe has lined up for you. Stop settling for this type of bullshit. Okay, so like we already know that the answer is no, that you should not break no contact, but it's like the universe needs to explain to you why. There is something better lined up for you. The more you let this type of energy into your life, dealing with motherfuckers where you gotta beg for the bare minimum, like I gotta beg you for the bare minimum. Like, are you, please be so for real. Please be so for real, because I'm not doing that. Like really, really think on what it is that you bring to the table. Like, I feel like I'm really lecturing y'all, but like, y'all gotta understand and know your worth, okay? Because the shit that you've had to put up with is just completely unacceptable. And you deal with it because you want that love. You want that acceptance. Hey, listen, I'm guilty too. Okay. I found myself in a situation where I was begging for the bare minimum. I'm not saying I know firsthand. Okay. I know firsthand. And I don't mean that from like a place of projection, but like it came out with this King of Wands. Like this person really had you in a situation where you were begging for the bare minimum, for consistency, communication, acknowledgement, like acknowledging where they messed up at, and what they could do better. And this person probably did a whole lot of future faking, gaslighting, cheating on you, just dishonest with you. They probably did a whole lot of that. And when you brought it to their attention, they were very good at maybe flipping the script and making it seem like you were the problem. They just caused a lot of conflict in your life. And yet somehow, some way, there is still confusion for some of you regarding whether or not you should let this person back into your life. Absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. You might not be able to see what is on the other side right now. Okay, you may not be able to see what is there, what waits for you on the other side. Like, it's kind of given like deal or no deal. Like, you can accept this briefcase, which is like everything that you've been used to and like comfortable dealing with, or you can hold off for the chance of getting a better briefcase. Hold off for the chance of getting a better briefcase, because it's not even like a matter of like the chance that you'll get a better briefcase. There is better out there for you that's lined up for you. You just have to show the universe that you're not finna keep settling for the same dumbass shit that you've been settling for, and it will show up for you. Like, I sincerely, I mean that. Like, you have this person, this is really giving like a man's energy, but like, you have this person who will do that for you, okay? They haven't come into your life yet because you're in the process of aligning with that vibrationally. Do you understand? But in order to get there, you need to clear out the clutter, okay? This person and people like this person, they are the clutter. They have to be cleared out so that you can welcome that new shit into your life. So, hell no, you shouldn't let this person back in your life. You got better shit coming. You got better stuff lined up. Like, leave that motherfucker alone, okay? And tell that motherfucker leave you alone if they blowing up your line. But, yeah, that is the overall message that I have for y'all, okay? I hope that resonated. I hope it was not too harsh, but like, it is all love, okay? It's all from a place of love. Do not let them back into your life, okay? Because we ain't got time. Group number 3, we ain't got time. All right. So yeah, that's what I have for y'all. Let me know down in the comments how this reading resonates. If you're interested in booking a personal tarot reading with me so that we could take a deeper look at your situation, you guys can book with me on my Etsy shop. The link to do so will be available down in the description box below. If you are interested in the deck that we used for today's tarot reading, we did use the Spoopy tarot deck, which will be available for purchase on my Amazon storefront down in the description box below. Be sure to check that out if that is something you are interested in. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye. Hello to all of my beautiful people who have chosen group number 4, and welcome to your reading, you guys. So, should you break no contact with your person that you have in question? So for this pile in particular, I feel like it could be more than just like a romantic relationships that fall under this pile. It could be friendships, it could be family dynamics, okay? We start off with the 4 of Wands. So I do see here that you guys have some kind of foundation of this relationship, like you've built something, okay? And it does have the potential to grow. Like, I will say that. But the thing that I was picking up on with this relationship is it could have maybe moved too fast, or like you guys might have, like both of you may have gotten a little like ahead of one another in the relationship is kind of the vibe that I was getting for this pile in particular. We have the Knight card, which is actually, I believe this is the Moon card if I'm not mistaken. So I was getting this vibe that you guys might have grown closer to one another, but you may not have been, both of you may not have been fully comfortable really like being fully transparent, like fully yourselves around one another, if that makes sense. Not saying that you were like lying and like hiding who you were, but there might have been certain aspects of yourself that maybe this person and there might have been certain aspects of them as well that maybe you guys just didn't show one another right away. And yeah, so I don't think that anybody ghosted anybody here. That could have been the case. This seems more like you guys just maybe stopped talking to one another, not even with the intention of like ghosting, but you just kind of maybe drifted apart or like took some space. I was getting that type of vibe. I don't feel any like anger or animosity here in this connection, but I do get the vibe that y'all might have just been different people, Okay. But that doesn't necessarily mean that y'all couldn't work together, if that makes sense. Like, that doesn't mean that y'all couldn't, like, really expand upon this relationship. Because with the Three of Pentacles here, I see that you guys get along. Like, I see that you guys work well with one another. And you guys would be really, really good with collaborating with one another. We also have the Queen of Cups here. We have the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. So I am picking up on multiple energies in this relationship. I don't really think that this is like, how do I say? I don't really think that this is like a third party situation. I'm not really getting much of that, but it could be possible that other people might have had your nose in this relationship, or maybe you could have had like mutual friends with one another who might have had their own opinion, you know, on this relationship, or whether or not the two of you would be right for one another, or whether or not you guys should be like close like that, if that makes sense, and that could have interfered with the connection. Regardless, I do see that there was a reason why this separation might have taken place, or why this could have happened. Maybe because the two of you were like just different. That's kind of like the main thing that I'm picking up on, is that you guys were different, but that doesn't necessarily, it's not like a bad thing in this connection. I just feel like you guys might have maybe moved a little too fast, and it might have fizzled out because, you know, maybe you lost interest in one another, or I don't know if you guys heard that, but it was just a honk outside. So it could have been like y'all lost interest in one another, or something along those lines. I'm not really getting any specific like barriers between the two of you. I just feel like the two of you might have just kind of drifted apart, and you guys might often wonder like how the other is doing. But I just think that in order for this to really work, it's like the two of you would really need to come together and have a conversation and get comfortable with one another, because that's something that I'm picking up on. It's like I feel like you guys never really got the chance to get comfortable with one another. You might have gotten to know each other, but it doesn't seem like you got to know each other on a deeper level. And if you guys did get to know each other on like a deeper level, you might come to the consensus that you guys would be better off as friends, because I do see that you guys have the potential for a close relationship, but it may not necessarily be a romantic relationship is what I'm getting. But I do feel like it could go somewhere with this Eight of Cups here, which does symbolize walking away. I know this is just 8 little potion bottles here, which literally this deck, it doesn't really show like the descriptive pictures, but I know the meanings of the cards, so that's kind of how I'm reading it. But yeah, this is a card about walking away or drifting apart, you know. But with this Three of Pentacles and this Nine of Cups here, I do feel like that there is potential in this relationship for you guys to work towards something together if you guys are both willing to put in the work. That's the vibe that I'm getting, or the energy that I'm getting. But I feel as though your communication styles might be a bit different. That could lead to misunderstandings or misinterpretations between the two of you. Okay. And the crazy thing about it is I'm not even getting like any type of conflict from this or anything like that, because I feel like you guys do have the potential to work towards something beautiful. This Nine of Cups, it symbolizes a wish fulfillment and kind of having everything that you want, you know. And I feel like you guys want the same things in life, but the path that you might choose to take, or the ways that you both decide to go about it as individuals, may differ from one another, and that would require communication, like regular frequent communication, so that you guys can both like understand one another better. in order for it to get to that point. And I just feel like that's just not something that ended up happening, at least not in the beginning of this relationship. And it could have been a situation where one person ghosted the other person, or you guys just both stopped talking, but I'm not really picking up on the vibe of like you guys both had a mutual agreement to stop talking in this relationship. I just think that you guys were very different from one another, so different to the point where these misunderstandings might have taken place and you guys might have just drifted apart. But in the back of the deck for this pile, we did have the Ace of Cups and the Justice card. So to me, I feel like this is kind of an indication that there may be a desire on both sides to make it right, to clarify a few things, to talk about, maybe why you guys stopped talking in the first place, if there were any misunderstandings or miscommunications in the past, to kind of clear it up and make it right, even if it doesn't go down the romantic path, like, even though for a lot of you it can, I do feel like you guys have the potential to have a great friendship and a great relationship. This person might be different from other people that you have dated or from other friendships that you may have had, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It actually might be a good thing. I feel like the two of you excuse me, the two of you could really be a breath of fresh air for one another. So in terms of whether or not you should break no contact in this situation, I don't see why not. And with this, I don't see why not. I don't see anything bad coming of it, but I do feel like in some ways this relationship, this connection might require a bit more work on both parts because of the fact that you guys are so different from one another. One person in this relationship might be more talkative than the other, whereas the other person wants to just kind of listen. But the thing is, like, for example, let's say you're the person that's more talkative in the relationship and they're the person that likes to listen and likes to be more observant. There might have been something that you said that they may not have fully understood, or they might have taken it the wrong way. And I don't mean that from like a standpoint of them like taking offense to it, but they might have misinterpreted like what you meant. But instead of talking about it or discussing it or giving you the chance or opportunity to elaborate, you guys kind of just went your separate ways from there. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. So if you guys do decide to break no contact, or if you were to decide to like reach out to this person and like have a conversation with them, or vice versa, I do feel like you would get the space and the opportunity to clear any misunderstandings or miscommunications up with one another. And I do feel like if it really does go down like the romantic track and it really does, take a turn in that direction, with this particular pile in particular, it is very, very important that you guys establish a deep friendship bond first, before progressing into a relationship with this person. I mean, I recommend that in literally like when getting to know anybody, but for this one, it's like imperative. I feel like the talking phase might need to be a little bit longer, or like the friendship phase of like getting to know one another or just dating one another, it needs to be a bit longer for you two, because you guys will you do have your differences. But like I said, that's not a bad thing. It's really not. Like I said, it could be a breath of fresh air for both of you. So as long as the feeling is mutual between the two of you, in terms of wanting to give it a go again or wanting to give it a try again, like, I really don't see anything bad coming of it. Like, I honestly feel like the worst that could happen is just the two of you deciding that maybe it's best for you guys to be friends, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you could end up like with a long time, like, long-term friend. Like, one of my best friends, we started off as like talking, you know, like talking romantically, I guess you could say, or we started off with that type of dynamic, like potentially like dating one another and getting to know one another. But we're so different from one another that we ended up becoming best friends instead. And we understand each other now, like in that context a little bit better. Like looking back now, I'm like, yeah, I used to like you like that, but I'm glad that we're friends instead. Like that's the kind of vibe that I get from this relationship. Not saying that there's no romantic potential here, because it's there, but the friendship foundation needs to be established first, okay? You know, and with this Knight card here, I just feel like there is how do I say, there is some things that might have been hidden, not intentionally, but like certain aspects of yourselves or your personality that might not have really been revealed. Like maybe this person comes across a bit quiet, or like more quiet or more shy, but you haven't gotten the chance to see their loud, silly, goofy side yet, you know, because maybe not everybody gets to see that side, and you guys just didn't get there yet. And that's sort of the type of vibe that I'm getting. So should you guys break no contact? I don't see why not. Just don't do it during Mercury retrograde. You know, if you want to like really see where things could go between you and this person, I don't see why not. But if there's anything that you want to clear up with them, like, you know, hey, like what happened, like, or hey stranger, like what's going on, how have you been, like I haven't heard from you for a while, like are you okay, like I just think that there is room for certain things to like maybe be cleared up, or any potential misunderstandings to be cleared up, so that you guys can move forward. And as long as the feeling is mutual for them, which I feel like it might be, they just might show it a bit differently from you, then I don't see why you guys can't, you know, start off as friends and just, you know, take it from there. You know, that's the type of vibe that I was getting, you know. And for others of you guys, maybe you guys did try the dating thing, you might have even moved in with one another, but like decided to separate because it just didn't work out, or whatever the case may be. That could be the case for like a small percentage of you, but I do feel like you guys would end up being great friends regardless. Like it just might take a little bit of work, or like a little bit of effort, you know, but I feel like the two of you could get there if it's something that you both wanted, you know. So that's what I have for all of my beautiful people who have chosen group number 4. I do hope that that resonated for you guys and made sense to you guys. If you guys are interested, feel free to book with me on my Etsy shop if you would like a personal reading on your situation. And also, if you're interested in the deck that we used for today's tarot reading, we did use the Spoopy Tarot deck, which will be available for purchase on my Amazon storefront down in the description box below. Be sure to check that out if that is something you are interested in. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye!